Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. It is Thursday, November the 27th, that we're on our way into the barn because my wife, God love her, she told everybody, don't worry about going into feed or hay or water take. You guys, just enjoy your Thanksgiving. So we are on our way in to hay and feed and water.
You did not have to partake in this.
Yeah, well, you would have been 3 hours had I not come in to help.
I brought my minions.
I see. So, we're on our way into the barn right now. It's so weird. This is our first, it feels like our first Thanksgiving in the States, but it isn't. We've been in the States back and forth, the more full-time role over the last year or two. Last night going behind the gate when the snow was flying in that monsoon, the hurricane with snow. It felt very Christmassy. Actually, had a smile on my face the whole night.
Oh, did you?
Except when I put Allure on the run, my smile, it disappeared almost immediately. Now, I will say this.
I did. You almost put that other one on the run too.
Which one? Tally the tab?
Yeah.
I run right over Keith Cash the whole way. He said, she's pretty sure-footed trotter, eh? He said, you ran right into the back of me about 7 times.
Yeah. It was like you could feel that that you were in a bad spot, and there's nothing you could do about it.
No, I could have. So I could have fixed Tally the tab. So I had more than enough time in the first turn to move to the front. Problem was when I looked up, Justin Irvine was rolling along. Now Justin's a smart driver. He's a good kid, and he does not want to concede the 2-hole. He knows that Aaron or I are coming. Now, to be fair, Tally the tab last night was 9-1, and she will maul that class. But I know she's a good filly. Aaron, who drove her, knows she's a good filly. Maybe Justin doesn't want to really cut loose the 9-1 shot. I think I end up going away 5-1. Especially when he knows where Aaron's getting away and he knows Aaron's coming. So if I come, best case scenario, he stretches me like 28 seconds, and then I have to let the favorite Aaron go. Who I know Aaron. He's not going to tap the brakes. We're going 28-1, 57-2, 126-4, and then whatever happens, happens. And I didn't really feel like sucking the bone marrow right out of that filly, like the lifeblood right out of her. So I said, you know what? I don't love where I'm at, but I'm going to take my chances sitting in. If I can stay close, I'll beat them. The problem was I couldn't stay close. And
you could see your frustration.
No, I wasn't really frustrated. I knew that I was going to be third. Around the last turn, I thought if I get out... I tried to squeeze Chris Lamb starting into the backstretch to let me out, but he didn't want to let me out, which, whatever, I don't care. He knew the horse in front of me was done. He thought that maybe if he could get ahead of Keith Cash getting into the last turn, that maybe I wouldn't beat him. So I don't blame him for doing it. I made an effort. I knew in the first turn that it was going to cost me a little more than I was comfortable with to clear to the front, only because I knew no matter how easy or hard Justin made it on me, Aaron was going to come immediately as soon as I was clearing to the front, which put him and I both in a bad spot. Justin, I mean.
It sounds like you overthink.
No, I just knew in the first turn I could see what was happening, and it was either empty your filly out and maybe be first or second, or drive her a little more conservatively. Keep in mind, I know going into the race, it's her 32nd start of the year. It's not like she's raced 4 times. So I just, at that moment, if you watch the video, there's a moment in the first turn where I have Aaron pinned in. There is no doubt I am going to clear to the front. And I'm just looking at the way the race is shaping up and how Justin's letting his horse roll along on the front end. Do I really want to pay that price? Do I really want to pay that price? You guys are up. Minions, go get the food. Oh, you want to go out too? Hey, look both ways when you go across this very busy parking lot.
Minions! You
Ava,
don't all have to go.
Ava, you can go with her, please. Thank you. So, that's just, you could tell, if you just watch the replay, you can see in the first turn the hamster
I watched it live.
in the wheel. You watched it live? No, live is at the track. You just watched it.
I watched it in real time.
Thank you. It's very good for you because
and
you usually
I was like, you're pinned in. You can't be better than third, but you're going to put this thing on the run because you're so mad that you're pinned in.
No, I was not mad that I was pinned in. I knew what I was going to be. Getting halfway around the last turn, I knew I couldn't be second, obviously. I'll tell you what I did do, though. She darted to the inside.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to go through any of those pylons.
The red ones?
I went through. I ran over all 4 of them. I didn't go through them, but I ran over all 4 of them. I actually went back in the next post parade and looked where my wheel mark was, and it was right over top of all 4.
You're lucky that it didn't fall off, because then you would have been tossed.
You're right. You're right, I would have been tossed. So I had woke up this morning and just had a quick conversation with Jason Merriman about where they fit next week. I thought that Tally the Tab was going to have to go to the Meadows because in my mind, Allure, Tally the Tab, and now Maury fit the same class, which was problematic, and they're not going to split it 3 ways. So I said, well, Tally the Tab fits the numbers of 2 but 4, and she's brimming with confidence right now. I undercooked her. I underdrove her last night, but at the same time, that win will come back to us. Of that, I'm certain. And you got to remember, too, I say this to clients all the time, you can only win those races once. And I will never, ever go on the track and not try and win. But at the same time, the saving grace from last night is that those fillies and that colt all fit the classes they were in for the most part of the game. So, yes, undercooked. Just don't undercook the turkey today, well, all right?
We have to hurry up.
So, undercooked last night, but she raced very, very well. Allure, now she would have been out of that class. I thought Allure was racing in the class that Tally the Tab was in, the numbers of 4 division. I just didn't dawn on me she wasn't. And I guess by her making that break last night, and make no mistake, she was very good last night. She had been poor her first start, but if you go back and watch my video last week, I tell everybody, I knew in the post parade, she just flat. Like the lines were limp like noodles. She just didn't pick it up. She wasn't sharp. Last night she was very sharp. In fact, a little too sharp. They were soft in the turn. What I've noticed too about the track, when they get screening the track in the middle of the card, it gets really seedy along the rail, really sandy along the rail. No, first couple of races it was pretty good last night.
What about the headwind?
The headwind was excessive.
I saw Maury decelerate.
Maury thought he was going to pull up in the last turn.
Did he really?
Mm-hmm. He did. He was on the left line. He was in the 1.5, 2 wide path. He was thinking of pulling up. He's like, it's really windy. Why don't we just try this next week? And he was going to pull up. So let's not jump around too much. So I talked about Tally the Tab. My night started watching. Well, I had a bunch of drives to begin with, but my night started by watching. Thank you, honey. Okay, can you move your fake coffee drink?
That is excessive.
I didn't mean to get the giant one. I meant to get the little one.
That is
and I meant to get the smaller one for her. No, they're Ventis. That's a Venti.
That is...
No, it's not. It's not called a Trenti. You've been away from Starbucks that long.
You don't need 2 cup holders.
Oh, why is there a gigantic one? Who was the gigantic one for? I got Ava a chai latte.
That's a grande.
Oh no, that's Ollie's drink. Yeah.
Everyone good? So Addie didn't get one?
Addie got one.
No, Addie got one.
Everybody got one except for you because you're weird. A little tickle on my throat. So Drebin last night, and I can only assume, I didn't get the report from Brett, but watching him drive Drebin, he was obviously a handful going into the first turn. He was in for a split second and backing and going. Obviously, you can't drive that horse like that, but Brett obviously thought he was going to get himself in trouble with Drebin, and I've seen Drebin's mouth is much like a hippopotamus. It's very, very difficult to maneuver Drebin sometimes. It's like, thank you, honey. Yeah, he's been good that way. He's been better that way. I think we just maybe got to change his the bit in his mouth just a hair to make him a little more controllable. That's easier said than done sometimes.
I don't have my muffin.
Oh. Well, we're going to have to go back. Because I definitely ordered a muffin.
There wasn't anything in the bag.
Well, you're going to have to ask them for an order with an order of a blueberry muffin. There should be 2, actually. Can you just...
There's one. Because that was all put up with
Are you
all
sure
going
there's
in
no
April.
muffin?
Hold on.
Just
I may
keep
have...
it
Oh,
in bread.
relax. No. I may have ordered one muffin. It's Thanksgiving. Relax. Just go in. Addie, you want to be a big girl? You take Mommy's phone in.
No.
And you show them. Can you say, I forgot to order my blueberry muffin. Can I have a blueberry muffin, please? And they'll scan your barcode. Let her do it.
No, I'm doing it.
Okay, you go in with her. You go in with Ava. You let her... You're not going in?
No.
Oh, okay. Let's not be cranky.
I only wanted to go in by myself.
No.
Well, next time. It's pretty busy right now, honey. There's a lot of people here. Anyway, we're taking away from the Thanksgiving video, all right? You jumped in with Tally the Tab, who was at the third in line. Now we're talking about Drebin. Drebin, we just have to change his the bit in his mouth, and he'll be fine. And Winter Soldier, I know that he drops down to the 5,500, but or the 5,000, but you know, got away last. He was charging on the end of it. That was cool, but I would rather have him charging to be third than charging to be sixth. But listen, the kid did a good job driving the horse. He had some real pop on the end of it, and wherever we race him, whether it be Dayton, the Meadows, or Northfield his next start, he drops way down in class. My only concern, as I said to Jason, was right now Northfield Park also, we talk about Mohawk. I know I'm not going to rag on Mohawk. Northfield Park has been combining classes also. Rock Shining Star, they asked to combine the class with Greatest Ending, and I declined. I said, Jason, I don't want to race our horse against one another. So we're looking to find a better path for a couple of these horses, and it is because there's been races being combined. So Drebin was out the whole way and was beat ahead for sixth and half a length for fifth. Winter Soldier was flying on the end of it and finished sixth, just beat for fifth. They were sixth and seventh, sadly, but both, if there was a way you could say a horse finished sixth and seventh. Did you just do the 6-7 thing?
Oh my God.
Don't do that. They were behind fifth, both of them, and raced very, very good. So Memento Mori, if you watched him, I let him roll down the backstretch, and he should have won in like 56, and he was good enough to win there. But between the wind and him just being Maury, he started to drift and half pull up in the last turn. You can see him slow right up. And I kicked the earplugs and I hit him a swat, and he must have known that I meant business, because
I thought you were third. I was like,
took
wow,
back off.
This is going to be bad.
Yeah, I said, I'm going to tell you what, 2025 has not been your year, but if you reduce yourself,
you lose this race.
Yeah, if you reduce yourself to getting beat by these horses in this manner, well, that is almost an unforgivable sin. And he took off again, and he won easily. He'll win that class. He'll do well in those classes. The one thing I will say, they're doing a very good job. Now the girls in Ontario did their job putting the weight on them. They're doing a great job keeping the weight on them. Memento Mori, I listen, it's hard for me to be too optimistic. It has been an utter nightmare of a year for us with Memento Mori. He is not even, to say he's a shadow of the horse would be doing a disservice to the definition of shadow. He is not the horse he was at 2, but still a decent trotter in there, and I know the time didn't show it last night, but trust me when I tell you, he will do just fine in those classes for the foreseeable future. Now, what happens when he hits the 7? If he keeps that weight on, he keeps racing well, and he strings together some good miles, then we do have options of Dayton to 10 and Yonkers to 12. We do have those options, but he has to continue to progress. But last night's mile itself, aside from the ignorance in the last turn, because it was being a little ignorant, he's never done his best work on the front, but he did accelerate down the backstretch like it was game over.
Well, the wind was pushing him too.
No, the wind wasn't. The wind was literally,
across?
Yeah, it was a crosswind right across from like the grandstand to the backstretch. So when you hit the turn, it did hit you head on, but it didn't really help you at any other point in the mile. So Memento Mori held on, got the job done. He didn't just hold on. He was beaten in the last turn and then drove off again down the lane. For a horse that's raced as many times as he had and won the races he has, a little ounce of class would go a long way. And he just needs to summon up any portion of what he was last year. And the months of December and January and likely February will be quite easy for him, I would imagine. Now, Allure wasn't disappointing. I looked at the race. I'm mad because I was right up on top of that horse. The rail in that particular point of the mile at that particular time of the night is always chewed up. It is, and I know that. That is not surprising to me. I could not move her.
It was a mistake, and they gave us a cookie. So.
Oh, well, that was very kind.
Was it actually though?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's kind.
Nope.
Hey, but what are you doing? Give her a muffin.
I am.
And what about the cookies? Don't be mean. You guys can share it. It's Thanksgiving.
What about?
So,
Where's the extra one? You told me to get 2.
2 what?
No, Ollie.
Ollie already had one, honey. So we got an abundance of pastries in the car. That's cool. Now, okay, everybody be quiet. I don't want to hear about cookies or muffins or anything. I'm finishing my video. So, Allure, obviously, when you look at her program, her last 2 starts. Can you guys crinkle just a little bit more as I'm trying to do my video? That'd be cool. Allure, her last 2 starts have been just horrible. She tied up quite a bit her last start. Jason and everybody, the new kid Aaron and his girlfriend Aaron take care. Aaron and Emma take very, very good care of that filly. She looks good. She came from Carrie, who did a good job with her too. That filly had tied up. Now, when the horses tie up, you got to let that muscle count come down. So you're trying to exercise them, but you can't exercise them too much. We integrated a little bit of the equicizer this week and just went easy with Allure. So this is all in my mind as we're getting into there. I got away exactly where I knew I was going to get away, 3rd. I sat there right where I wanted to sit. And as I watched the race unfold in the last turn, knowing full well that I would have been going to winner's circle, likely with the earplugs snug in her ears, unfortunately I was well back because I'd made a break. In that very turn, I knew that the track was not great, but I was kind of stuck in a spot. If you really double her up hard, she's more apt to make a break. Your best option is to hope that the front end is accelerating, which it was not, and to just let her trot along and do her work. As it turns out, that isn't how it played out. She just got up on top of the horse in front of her and just lost her footing and rolled off stride. Not really what she tried. The first turn good because we were advancing, but that second turn, the front end was soft. It was very vulnerable. I was not going to move her before then. I can't say to myself, oh, I should have moved her. Like I should have moved Tally the Tab. No, I shouldn't have moved her. That filly was not coming in off her lines, and what her workload, the expectations of her workload, she was going to need a little bit of help. And as it turned out, her help was that the front end was terrible. But I lost her in the turn. Now the good news is she only fits that class for 1 more win. So whether it was last night and then we would have to have, I had messaged him and said, I think Tally the Tab, I thought that Maury moving up in class meant that class was a 3-way split now, which meant one of those horses had to leave, but it wasn't. Maury and Allure were still in the bottom, the lower one, 2-4. So Allure still fits a 2-4. Maury will move up. My plan for next week is all 3 of them will win again, I hope. After that, we can try Tally the Tab again, maybe in Dayton. I truly believe she can do that claiming class in Dayton. Now remember, the class she was in last time won. She wasn't. We changed her hardware in her mouth a little bit, much more manageable. You saw her last week. I drove her just like a race car. You move her, sit, move her, sit, move her, sit, and she won. And last night just sat like a little kitten. She was sharp. She was very sharp. But she's a super manageable filly, and maybe one of the most polite horses. It might have looked like she was running all over Keith, but at the same time, she's just anxious, but she's smart about it. The only time she actually almost made a break was she put a step in behind the gate for some reason when I went to accelerate out behind the 3. If you watch her, she just gets a little out of gear for a step, but then just powers right through it.
That's right, Kate.
And
Made a break.
that's right, he made a break and come back and won that time. That's right. Now, Spitfire made a break in his qualifier yesterday, but when you talk about powering through it, he did not. And that just comes down to sharpness, confidence, intensity. And I think we can make a few little changes, just a couple to help him. That won't be a problem. But as I said to everybody, overall, Spitfire Overseas felt great yesterday, right up until he made that really uncharacteristic break. He's made breaks, never ever made them there, I don't believe. And I don't foresee it becoming a problem in the future. You, as I told everybody...
I'm not qualifying him.
No, I'm qualifying him, but you have 4. Now,
Who?
Sadly, there may be a couple of those horses in Agent Black.
Oh.
You're going to go with the Big Black Trotter. Tenacious Hanover.
I thought he went to the Meadows.
No, we didn't send him to the Meadows. Go Boom.
Oh, that's not fair.
Why? Go Boom. I'm going to train him up Friday. You'll be fine to go with Go. You're going to go with Go Boom,
Are you
Tenacious.
putting hobbles on him?
Yep. Well, hold on. I'm going to train him Friday and see how he likes them. I think he'll like them. Go Boom, Tenacious Hanover, Agent Black, and the Spitfire, but there is one more that has to qualify also. I've said it like 15 times. No, said it like 15 times in my videos, but I can't think who it is now. NASA. He trained great yesterday too. My horse has come back very, very good. He looks cranky, but I'll tell you what. Jason trained him yesterday in the rain.
I saw him training.
Did you see him?
Yeah.
Did he look as good as he said he did?
Yeah, he did.
Because he said he looked very, very good. And his mouth is different now. Before he was very rude. We took everything out of his mouth, and he's actually 2 fingers now, which is, I wonder if maybe he was in desperate need of a rest, because when he came over here, he is not the same horse now as he was when he arrived in Ohio. I can guarantee you that. So yesterday wasn't a resoundingly awesome day. Maury got the job done in mediocre fashion, but I think now that he's got a win under his belt and he's come forward, I think we'll be able to combat that. Secondly, Tally the Tab, yes, I undercooked her a little bit. I didn't drive her as aggressively as I should. Ava, shh, both of you quiet.
I drove him like James.
Whoa. James is the leading driver in Canada the last 4 years in a row. I did underdrive her a little bit. It's my fault. But if I had no, it wouldn't have mattered with her. She can win that 5th start. But those are numbered starts, right? So the only saving grace is she may have not won yesterday, but that win can only count once. So we'll get it next week. And then Allure, trust me when I tell you, she was a winner last night, and she only fits that class for one more win, and then she has to move up to where Maury and Tally the Tab now are. I guess the only update, somebody is going to ask me about Bridge over Broadway. She tied up yesterday a little bit. That will likely impact her start of next week. It's probably going to get pushed a week to the week after. But that's all right. I did see her on the track. She had a beautiful filly and trots very, very nice. So that's an update, a Thanksgiving update for everybody. Thank you all. We're starting into the fall now. We have a full burn of babies that look very, very good. Very happy with the way they look on the track. I'm going to bring an x-ray list to Dr. Latessa for next week. My plan would be to inspect all the horses at different times of the year. Right now, anybody that gives me any inclination that we may have to have a look at them, they're going to be x-rayed within the next week and a half. And then from there, we are going to send them to Dr. Brown's if they need anything. Now, on the top of the list will be the ridgelings, because if there's anything wrong with the ridgelings, we'll send them OCDs out, castrate them, and that's done like we did with Sunday Royale the other day. But for the most part, I don't see any glaring issues in the barn. A few little horses where if they said, yeah, there's an OCD here or there, I would say, yeah, you're probably right. But for the most part, very, very happy with what I see in the barn. Happy with the way things are moving. The only issues that I see are finding consistent classes. Again, we've talked about this a million times for a number of the horses here in Ohio. Consistency with Greatest Ending and Rock Shining Star. Those bother me a little bit right now. In Ontario, the consistency with the fillies that are over there right now. I see Woodmere Betcha, they opened the class up to let her back in, but oddly enough, she drew the 10-hole. So, that is what is going on right now at the barn. That is what took place yesterday. That is a little bit of what's going to take place next week. You have 4 to qualify, potentially. I have 1 to qualify. We have 2-year-olds that are getting ever so close also, probably 2-3 weeks out. Your fillies, Bobby and...
the Dollar General Trot.
The Dollar General Trot, yeah. Bobby and Pretty Eyes and Lies. A couple more not far behind them, but... slowly but surely we'll have a wave of horses coming here in the next month or so. So with that, I'm going to let you go. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. It is, as I said, feels like Christmas. It feels like a pre-Christmas holiday. I like it. It's not like Ontario's a month ago, right there, or Canada, I should say, is a month ago, the Thanksgiving. So not the same vibe, not the same feel, but this definitely feels like Christmas. And
it's pre-Christmas.
It's pre-Christmas, that's what I said. Have a great Thanksgiving. Hope you get to spend some time with friends and family.
I thought they fixed that door.
They did fix the door, but in the sense that it's wide open right now, I'm going to say they didn't do a good job. So the maintenance crew, if many of you know, if you ever watch or want to Google Red Green, it's very similar to a Red Green crew. I went to open the door. Now the door jamb, if it's freezing cold out or warm out, expands or contracts because they don't have it in good. So the door wouldn't open the other day. This is the human door beside the horse door. They said, no problem, Mr. McDonald will come down and fix it. I see they shaved down the door frame a bit. Now the door just opens freely and does not close well. Red Green. Anyway, take care, everybody. We're going to go hay, feed, water all the horses. Oh, hope you guys are having lots of turkey and planning for a great Thanksgiving together. Take care.